It's a constant conversation about what we do share here, but it will never include anything like that. Today I am answering a couple questions that have come in about the kids, sensory seeking, and really Tessie's superhuman strength. Not really superhuman, but, well, you guys have seen her. I guess Tessie's climbing skills, what we do about them, how we enforce rules, and just kind of all of that wrapped up in one video. I'm going to try to cover everything that I can possibly think of that you might have wondered about all of that, and yeah, in this video. When I first became a parent, I had all these ideas about how I was going to parent and how strict I was going to be, and then I had Sadie. It kind of worked with Sadie, but then Maggie came along 2 years later, 24 and a half months later. All that really started to go out the window pretty quickly, because with Maggie, yeah, with Maggie, it didn't work. Nothing about parenting worked the way that I thought that it would. It didn't work the way the book said, every single thing the way that the book said, and everything that was going to work when Sadie got older, or everything that works, you know, with Patrick or James or most kids, it just made Maggie frustrated. It made everyone frustrated. And honestly, actually, my parenting ideas in the beginning for all of the kids probably were way stricter than how reality was going to be. I think we all have ideas before we become parents about the kind of parents we're going to be. And for most of us, that changes when kids actually enter the picture, because it's hard to know what it's actually going to be like to be a parent until you're actually a parent. What we learned very early on with Maggie was the house absolutely needed to be 100% safe. For a lot of years, probably like the first 7 or 8 years, she just wasn't going to understand her own strength. It was that sensory seeking, go, 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 go. So we needed everything to be absolutely just totally locked down, totally kid-proof, to the point that a strong kid of whatever her age was couldn't break things, couldn't hurt themselves on things. It just needed to be totally, totally safe. And that she couldn't get out of the house to elope because she was a runner. Tessie will, if given the opportunity, run off, but she's never like had the same drive to run off that Maggie has. Like, she might run a little ways away, but so far she's always still like wanted to be close to the group. She hasn't had that like drive to run off that Maggie's had so far. Knock on wood. I hope it stays that way. For us, in the beginning, I tried really hard to like, oh no, we're not going to do that. And I tried just about everything I read. And I'd read so many parenting books, parenting magazines, parenting websites, parenting videos. I tried just about everything that you could imagine. And we did ABA, years and years of ABA. Nothing worked. I mean, certainly nothing stopped her running. Nothing stopped her breaking things. Not on purpose. It was just that she was so strong that when she got something, usually if it could wiggle a little bit, it could wiggle a little bit more, and then she would just kind of wiggle something until it broke. It would be like a stem. It wasn't like she was maliciously breaking things. Anything that had any give to it, it was like she would just kind of sit there and play with it and play with it and play with it, and then look down surprised because it had broken. If something had a moving part, it was very likely not to survive in our house. And that was for everything from toys to furniture to anything, which I guess is my way of saying that our house is incredibly kid-proof. And by the time Tessie was born here, our house was basically kid-proof. Maggie has basically grown out of that. She is 10 now, and even just in the last year, she has grown so much that like when I tell her to stop doing something now, she stops doing it. I would say just in the last 2 years, she has come really far, but in the last year, she has grown in every possible way. She can do so many things she couldn't do. I couldn't have imagined her going into a bathroom and washing her hair with water and shampoo and conditioner 3 years ago. That is something that happens regularly several times a week now. To us going to a doctor's appointment and it going perfectly, her walking in, sitting down, wearing a mask, getting her temperature taken, getting weighed, and everyone from the nurses to the doctors to every single person there commenting on how different it is now. She acted like a dream come true the whole entire time we were there. And everyone was blown away. And now Tessie is sort of in that same phase. But with Tessie, there is both the climbing element that Maggie definitely had, but there's also a building element that Maggie did not ever have, where Tessie wants to build everything. This is hard on furniture because Maggie liked to like wiggle things and shake them and they would break that way. Tessie likes to build things. From toys, she takes apart toys much more intentionally than Maggie ever did, to put them together in other ways, and then she builds things. If I had to go back, I would not go with Wayfair furniture or I would have bought the warranty, because I never really thought of couches breaking the way these couches did. When you see the video I'm going to play today of Tessie doing some of her building,
she's mad because I took it down. She's mad because I took it down. Mood, what are you doing? Happy now?
Tickle butt.
Oh, you're saying I'm bad because I took it down? Seriously. Don't call her bad. She's good. Now you're proud of yourself, huh? You did it. Good one. What did you do? So sometimes
I would say the boundaries that we have are, I definitely try to use natural consequences. If Tessie is doing something dangerous, I stop her. I have enough to deal with in terms of behavior and making sure people don't fight, because they're siblings. They've been trapped in the house for like 15 months now together, almost all the time. So I am constantly dealing with that, and I definitely need to choose my battles so I'm not dealing with behavior all day long, which is right at this point kind of feels like I am sometimes. Boys are arguing. Maggie and Tessie play together a lot, and so they argue too. I mean, they have a lot in common, and that means they get into it over things a lot, which is kind of good because Maggie didn't used to stand up for herself, and she is starting to finally stand up for herself after like 15 months out of ABA, and I'm glad to see that. Before, she kind of let Tessie boss her around all the time. That wasn't a good thing. Sadie can kind of argue with everybody. I think that's what the oldest does. And also James and Tessie, being close in age, they argue too. I do a lot of separating, dealing with interpersonal relationships and setting some boundaries and dealing with that. So I really try to hope that the house can kind of handle itself because it's so kid-proofed. So my limits on the house are nothing dangerous, no like coloring on the walls, nothing destructive, stuff that's actually breaking stuff. Sometimes I'll see something I don't like throwing the hangers on the ground that Tessie did the other day. But I only have a couple of hangers up there because otherwise I'd be cleaning them up all the time. So I'm starting to teach her not to throw down hangers, but I also don't make it like a huge job for us to put them back up there because I want her to start to learn, but I also know she's probably not going to learn right now. I pick my battles. Tessie knows what no means, but she doesn't have the impulse control to listen to it all the time. You can tell when she knows something's dangerous because she actually will listen those times. And Tessie does have pretty good judgment on what's dangerous, and I also have a pretty good idea of what she can do. Tessie very rarely actually gets hurt when she's climbing. When she was flipping upside down on the bars, I wasn't worried.
and I saw.
When she's on top of the little pink house, I'm not worried because I've seen her jump up in the air and jump off of that thing so many times. She regularly climbs up onto the playhouse outside and jumps off of that. She climbs on top of the monkey bars out there. She swings really high. None of those things worry me. Yesterday, however, I did have to take her to go to see if she needed stitches, and that was from jumping on the bed on the mattress that is on a frame that's on the ground, because she jumped on that and got hurt. So of all the things she does, she has all the climbing that she does that she's never gotten hurt on, and she gets hurt. She was holding onto the rail, jumping on her bed, and that was the thing that she ended up bumping her mouth on the railing that she holds and biting her lip, because she was biting her lip while jumping on her bed.
Are you going to do your sunshine dance again?
Someone had also asked, and Paul really wanted me to show, one of the times that Tessie builds a fort with the couches. This is not my favorite thing, mostly because, number one, I don't love having to flip the couches back into place. It's kind of a pain, but it's a great proprioceptive workout for Tessie. She gets her heavy lifting in, and she loves doing it. The other kids like it when she does it. It builds a fort. This is not one of her tallest forts, but it shows you Tessie moving couches, building a fort. For anyone who doubted, she has done 3 couches before. When she put 3 couches up, I actually put the couch down and had her, so she did it again, and that's why she's yelling at me, and I believe she calls me mean or bad, because I just unhooked the couch, put it down, because she had it like over the leg of the other couch, so I put it down and she lifted it right back up a second time after lifting it once.
Has she ever done it so all 3 couches are on top of each other, Patch? Do you remember that one time where she had it where it was like both of them stacked on that one? Like a bed? Do you remember that, James? When she had all 3 couches, or when she had these 2 couches on top of that couch, like a ramp in the middle of the room? Now what are you doing?
That girl's got adjectives. It's interesting because Maggie had only nouns for like 8 years. The girl's got like 10 words, or between 10 and 20 words probably, but she knows how to make you feel like you have done her wrong. Tessie's got a lot of personality and a lot of feelings. So I guess I would say that the rules in the house are kind of based off what the kids understand. Sadie understands that she can't jump on the couches, and so does Patrick. The one time she jumped on the couch, I'm pretty sure it was her, because I don't think anyone else could break the couch, or whoever did it. No one got in trouble for that because it was an accident. But we had to talk about like the big kids, like, hey guys, this couch broke. You guys can't jump on it. But like when the couches are pushed to the side like they are, I don't have a problem with them running back and forth through the house when it's daytime, or them running around in the playroom. When it's nice outside, I'd prefer them to go outside and run around. And we got one of those like Ninja Warrior ropes courses things that goes across the backyard for summer, that I cannot wait for that to be set up, because I'm hoping that they have a lot of fun climbing and getting the wriggles out on that. Because yeah, I would prefer it to be outside, and we have a big backyard, so I am ready for summer. As someone who used to spend several hours a day when my kids were at school cleaning the house, I miss that. My house was pretty spotless. I had a routine, like on Monday I cleaned every bathroom in this house. We have 4 bathrooms. On Mondays I cleaned every bathroom. I did have like this set out house cleaning routine, and I look at the old videos and I see how clean my house was, and they weren't here that much to mess it up, and I do miss the cleanliness of my house before everyone was home all the time and I was homeschooling. The struggle is real right now. It's not bad. I definitely feel like it's juggling more things. The thing that has probably suffered the most is what the house looks like. I'm sure I'm not alone in that though. Oh my gosh. I don't know if that answers all of the questions. That is kind of how I deal with it. One thing I can promise you is I won't show you my kids misbehaving or getting in trouble on this channel. I mean, you might see Tessie being cute and being a little bit naughty because she's little and it's funny, but you're not gonna see like some channels do with them being in trouble and being embarrassed or disciplined. That just isn't gonna happen here. Even when I was younger, in my early 20s, and a supervisor, I caught on pretty quick that I just didn't like the idea of publicly criticizing someone in front of other people. I mean, if I wouldn't do that when I was like a pool supervisor, a head lifeguard to my coworkers, I definitely wouldn't do that to my children on YouTube. If somebody starts to do something that looks a little bit naughty and you don't see the outcome of that on YouTube, it doesn't mean it's not because I went and took the kid and talked to them and something happened after that. It's just that I'm not going to show that to the world because, I mean, I show you guys a lot of fun, I show you sensory things, and I show you what it's like being autistic. But it's also their lives and our lives, and this was never about embarrassing them. It's a constant conversation about what we do share here, but it will never include anything like that. Thanks for hanging out here with me today. If you like this video, I'd love it if you'd give it a thumbs up, and if you're interested in all things autism, we'd love it if you'd hit subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.